welcome, KC. The Ajna Center I have defined, I seem to have more of the open Ajna qualities. When you spoke of sifting through all the possibilities and drowning in them and not making a decision and moving forward, that's a regular grind for me. I do frequently struggle with feeling safe to speak my mind. I have drastically different views than most of my family and community. I can most likely see multiple viewpoints in any situation, and that has both served me well and been a challenge. What are some possibilities that would cause a defined center to operate as an open center? Hmm. So let's take the definition first, where you can have certain centers. For example, the throat has one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. The throat has 12 gates in it. So the throat can be defined from 12 different directions. And if you have, let's say, just one channel in the throat connected to, let's say, the emotional solar plexus, the throat is going to be defined, but it's going to be defined by one out of 12 possible channels. That is definition, but there's still a lot of openness in there. So the ajna has six possible channels, I believe. Yeah, three up and three down. So if you have one of those, that's going to be like the stream of information and opinions that's going to be all the time within you. But if you have the other eight open, and meaning not connected to anything or just hanging gates, that's going to be open. So for example, if you have, and I'm going to go through that in the advanced course, the differences between individual channels, tribal channels, and collective channels, where let's say your uh, definition in the ajna is made by an individual channel. That means that the thing in your mind that's going to be consistent is going to be about individual empowerment, about knowing, deep knowing. If your channel is collective, you're going to share it. If your channel is tribal, you're going to support other people with it. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can have different opinions. You can have many, many different opinions. It's just a nuance between people with completely open and then you have defined, but it's still, you can still be influenced. It's not like people with a defined ajna, you can't tell them anything. Like they can never change their mind. It's just that in those channels, it's a bit more difficult to get the others, like to get another perspective, or you feel your energy more prominently always because it's yours than of the other person. For example, like, okay, I have this way of thinking through one of my channels, and then somebody comes along and says, no, I think it's the other way. And then the first thing that comes to your mind, no, it's the way I think. But then, oh, if I take some time, if I listen to that person more, then okay, your truth can be true and my truth can be true. And then if you take somebody who doesn't have definition in the ajna, somebody might come and tell them an opinion and they would be immediately like, yeah, that's possible. Yeah, that's also possible. So it's not so set in stone. So just the differences between defined and open in that regard. Um, let's go next up. I frequently struggle with feeling safe to speak my mind. I have drastically different views than most of my family and community. So, in this regard, I frequently struggle with feeling safe to speak my mind. I have drastically different views than most of my family and community. So, I feel that this doesn't have to do with the ajna at all. So, you have your opinions uh, in the ajna, you have your concepts verbalized through the mind, but you actually feel everything from the body. And then ask yourself this feeling of safe to speak your mind. So there's many things here before you even come to the mind. So feeling safe to speak my mind. So first we have safe or not safe. Then we have speaking or not speaking. And then we have the mind. The mind part, or the Ajna center, the thing that you are focusing on when asking me this question, is just the package that you want to deliver to the world. But then take a one step back, which is speaking, which is the way how you're going to deliver the package. And then you have feeling safe, which is the state that you need to be in order to be able to do the action of speaking that will eventually deliver the package. So the mind is the least of your struggles in this regard. Take a look at speaking, take a look at feeling safe or unsafe, and then also take a look at the end point, which is feeling safe or unsafe to speak in the most of your family and in the most of your community. So you have to take into consideration who is on the other side. Is that person who you have drastically different views from making you feel unsafe to speak or safe to speak? Community feeling safe to speak, not safe to speak. So, and then that could lead to a lot of issues where you say, sifting through all possibilities, drowning in them, and not making a decision moving forward. In this regard as well, I believe it's not at all about making the right or wrong decision, having immense possibilities, drowning in them. I don't feel like you are indecisive because of the multitude of possibilities. I feel like the community, the family, the feeling of safety to speak any of those things is what is causing you to doubt, because you go like, maybe this is true, but I'm afraid to speak it. But maybe this is true, but I'm afraid to speak it. So it doesn't matter if it's really true or not. It matters more that do you actually feel safe to go through with it or not? And that's one part of the spectrum. So try to see what makes you feel safe or unsafe. And that could be open spleen. I don't remember your chart. It could be open spleen. It could be open root. It can be many things why you feel unsafe. It could be open heart, trying to prove yourself to somebody and you never get anything from them, and then you feel unsafe with them. Speaking can mean, it's that these these things are so rooted in guilt and shame and in trauma, collective pain bodies. So this is one part of the answer. Of course, there's more, and the other part, which I would offer to you, which is exclusively human design, is that we're not even supposed to make decisions from our mind. So I would go back to your authority. I would go back to your strategy, response, body response. And I'm not sure if I can't remember what your chart looks like, but if your sacral authority, your mind is not here to make decisions. Your mind is here for other people, to support them, or to empower them, or to share, but not to sit and be like, is this the best course of action or that? The mind is more like a narrator of what is going on in the body. And if your authority is sacral as a Mani Gen, then you gotta wait for and respond to things that make you satisfied or not, and then don't do anything. And then if you're emotional solar plexus, then the differentiation between the emotions and the sacral, meaning never make decisions from the emotions. So let's say you are emotional solar plexus. You might confuse the feeling of safety or unsafety as, okay, I feel unsafe, therefore I'm not going to do this. That's the exact kind of opposite of, I mean, I'm not saying walk in a volcano just because, okay, it feels unsafe, but I shouldn't listen to that. No, no, no. But meaning like fear is not a good driver, and guilt is not a good driver and shame is not a good driver and indicator. I would say it's an indicator of the opposites, but not that you shouldn't do things in your own life. But then we come to the point of codependency, and we come to the point of how do you break these bonds with people who you feel unsafe around. And that's kind of a very, very broad question of just changing your life, and how do you even start. And that I can't answer very broadly. That's very specific for every person. Yeah, yeah, I understand. I see you, Casey. Thanks for being here. And this is always a place for feeling safe to speak and having any view that you want and expressing it. And if not me, but also surely me, but someone else is gonna back it up and give their own story. So KC and everyone else in the course classroom, feel free to safely speak your mind, even if your views are drastically different. This is a space for that. Thank you, KC. Peace, health, and abundance.
Hi, Create Lines here. Welcome. Subscribe, like, leave a comment, share your story below. Check out my audio courses, Human Design, Basics, Intermediate, Projector Masterclass, other human design that will come out. Check out the Elemental Balancing audio course. They're all available on the Insight Timer app, where you are also invited to join the course classroom. In there, you can ask questions and get direct voice messages from me, and also engage with other students, share your feedback and insights, and further your learning. For one-on-one human design coaching and psychotherapy, send an inquiry through the website. Join us on the Insight Timer live sessions, where we do fascia and qigong stress release classes. Check out my art and merch webshop full of my original designs ready to be printed on shirts, notebooks, and many other products. Download my free ebooks and join my newsletter to stay connected and get updates and content in your email. Everything mentioned is available at icreatelines.com. Peace, health, and abundance.